should we trust the 49ers brass this offseason? I mean, they've built up a lot of equity and capital, but at the same time, they haven't won a Super Bowl yet.
I feel like if there's a time to trust them, it's probably during this time of year. Because it almost seems like every year people pick them apart for what they do in the offseason or what they don't do in the offseason. And they always put together a team that once you get halfway through the season, you go, oh, this might be the best team top to bottom in the league. Didn't necessarily see that coming. Now, they have a lot of third-round picks. I don't trust them to not take a running back again. That's about the only thing I don't trust them to do. But other than that, I think we got to trust them at this point. I think they've learned from their mistakes. Their 7th year doing this. I'm going to trust whatever they do with the offseason, except for the quarterback position. That's the one thing that I am not going to trust is the quarterback, because they don't know what they're doing with it. I'm sorry. They just don't.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like John Lynch is a good GM, and they have put together maybe the second best roster in the league after Philly. I mean, they don't have Patrick Mahomes, but they have a hell of a roster. What I think they need to do with the quarterback position is just embrace the fact that you can't keep one healthy, but also embrace the fact that most quarterbacks you put behind center put up numbers. I mean, Mullins did, Purdy did. I mean, Lance probably will if you give him a freaking chance. Jimmy did. Just approach the position like it's running backs. Running back used to be the catalyst of an offense back in the day. It's a very important position. People figured out, but they get hurt a lot, and you can find these guys late in the draft. Well, is that no different with the quarterback position with the Niners? They get hurt a lot, and you find these guys late in the draft, so keep bringing in bodies. You need 3 every game on the active roster and 1 or 2 on the practice squad. And You know what? You might just hit just having a preponderance of bodies at the position.
They've got to draft a quarterback every year.
Yeah.
Unless they get 3 that they're comfortable with.
This year. They got to draft a quarterback this year and sign one.
Yep. Yeah. You got to come into camp.
I suggest
with 4
the kid from UCLA. But there's other guys too. The kid from TCU's, I mean, he's got a Brock Purdy-esque resume.
Yeah, everybody's talking about this Hainer kid. I really haven't
He's
put a lot.
He's 37 years old.
Yeah, I haven't put a lot of thought into these quarterbacks at all, just because I don't know. Like, the only reason I knew a lot about Brock Purdy was because I thought he was going to come out in 2021 and the 49ers were going to draft a quarterback. So that's why I put a lot of work into Brock Purdy and knew who he was. But since they've taken Lance, I don't know. I haven't put a lot of thought into these guys.
Yeah. Well, John, we trust you. But what he's got to do, last year he made one big splurge, Travarius Ward. It worked out. This year I think they need to make 2. 1 in free agency and 1 in the draft. You can sign one guy, not including Nick Bosa. Sign one newcomer, and they could trade up for someone. They have all kind of draft picks later. They could target someone in the draft. They could target someone in free agency. I think they should. I think they probably should both be on the trenches, on the lines.
Yeah, I get the feeling that the 49ers are, I don't know, we'll see what they do this offseason. They only have $8 million in salary cap. I mean, they can obviously free things up, and we'll see how that works out. But would you be shocked if they had a whole new right side of the line next year? Would that surprise you at all? And none of them were free agents. They were guys that were already on the team that they just kind of bumped into the starting role. Like, that's how I feel the 49ers do with the offensive line. And that's what I hope they don't do.
I mean, yeah, I could see it. Like, Burford's cool. I like Burford. I think keep him at right guard, but they could have Jalen Moore at right tackle and Nick Zakelj at center, which is, maybe cost effective, but is it better? Is it good enough to beat Philly? That's the only question you have to ask, right? Is it good enough to beat Philly? I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if Philly's going to be that team next year. They got so many free agents. I mean, they're in a crazy bad spot.
That is
so
true.
We'll see next year. But we're talking about Philly. There's always a team. Seattle, by the way, they're on the come up. This division's not going to be. I don't think the division's going to be that easy next year. They've got 2 first-round picks this year. They've got cap money. Seattle, I don't think is going to be the pushover that they were this year for the 49ers.
Yeah. I'm just
Although
I know that
Geno's
Gino
great.
I know that Gino's had good games. It's just never
Yeah.
been against the Niners, so I
Yeah.
haven't seen it.
Yeah.
But I know he has a good arm and he's a good athlete. But the way he fumbled in the pocket, it's just like I don't know, man. I don't know. He gives me Jared Goff. Jared Goff has a nice arm too.
Yeah.
Better athlete.